Jeremiah 51, verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Shalom, all praises, glories, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Kudash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Most who have taught me this truth, as well as men of like mind. Shalom Wa Chasad, which means peace and mercy, to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom you so called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the seed line of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. To you I say Shalom, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ratazah. This lesson is edifying. Now, I'm out and about, sitting by the waters. You might hear a little bit of the water in the background, but the Spirit just hopped on me. The water Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to do this lesson as I was meditating on the destruction of America, Babylon the Great. Because you see, the narrative, as of recently on the news, has been the rebuilding, so called better than ever, and the strengthening of the infrastructure of America, Babylon the Great. And this is why the Lord had said here in the book of Jeremiah 51, verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Because no matter what these devils do through the pushing of these different infrastructure bills and various other bills, it will not make a difference when the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai ultimately destroys this entire land. Because this entire land will be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. And our people have gotten into an even more deeper spiritual state of slumber. Because these devils have destroyed their hearts, meaning their minds, with these different gifts in the form of extra additional financial aid through UI and other various bills that they so-called have passed in the past and do plan on passing later on in the future. Because Biden just came out saying that he wants to pass another $1.8 trillion bill that is going to pretty much help children that are in need of food and families that are suffering from hunger and so on and so forth. Now, as concerning the elect of the nation of Israel, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai will take care of his elect. And really the Lord Yahweh, through his son Yahweh Shai, are the ones that have allowed these devils to pass these different bills to take care, ultimately, really, the elect of the nation of Israel, while putting two-thirds of the nation of Israel in an even more deeper state of spiritual slumber and in the trap in that they have increased their trust in these devils, man. That's why the Lord said what in the book of Isaiah chapter 30, woe unto you that go down to Egypt for help, and woe unto you that trust in the shadow of Egypt, meaning the protection of Egypt. Because their trust in the shadow of Egypt in this place known as America, which is Babylon the Great, will be their downfall and will lead to their confusion. So now let's read Jeremiah 51, verse 7 again. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. And how is America made all of the earth drunken? Through her philosophies, through her democracy. That's how America has made these different nations drunken. Also through her traffic, which is trade, because all these nations have taken part in the abundance of wealth of America, Babylon the Great. But now these nations are waking up to the fact that this whore is nothing but a hoe that will soon be destroyed. And that's why America's allies are breaking away from her. Because recently it's been reported that France may soon leave the EU, and it is known as the Frexit. Okay, I did a lesson on it last week, and this is a part of prophecy, man. All of America's allies are gradually breaking away from America, Babylon the Great, because they see that this place is corroding, its wounds are worsening, and it is not being healed no matter how much printing of trillions of dollars they do. Ultimately, that's not going to lead to any difference. In all actuality, in fact, it's going to lead to the inevitable and unprecedented collapse of the dollar and an increase in inflation, which will lead to hyperinflation. Okay, and all these things are right around the corner, man. So while you Israelites out there think that everything's so-called going back to normal, guess what? Very soon you're going to be hit off guard, man. With inflation and economic crash. Okay, and whatever else the Lord has in store, for these devils, for you 2/3, man. Okay, Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. So it says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of our wine, of our democracy, of our philosophies. Therefore, the nations are mad. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. And America, Babylon the Great, is going to fall suddenly when the Lord bends his bows, which are the nuclear silos, to shoot his arrows, which are the ICBM nuclear missiles, through these different heathen nations, including America's allies and our enemies, upon America to destroy America suddenly in 1 hour, according to the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 17. It's going to take 1 hour for the Lord to utterly obliterate this entire land. It says, Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. Howl for her. And these nations are going to howl. As a matter of fact, let's get the precept in Revelation, the 18th chapter. And Lord's willing, you brothers and few sisters can hear me. Because, I have my headphones on and I'm speaking, directly through my headphones. So it's lucky if the voice, is not as clear as usual. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 15. It says, the merchants of these things, of all of America's traffic, her delicacies, all the merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, by who? By America, Babylon the Great, shall stand afar off in their ships in the sea for the fear of her torment. Why? Because they're going to be seeing the torment of America being displayed before their eyes when they see the smoke of her torment ascending up into the heavens. Because they're going to see that America has been utterly destroyed by way of thermonuclear fire. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple, which represent a form of royalty. You know, 'cause America is known as being the dominant country on the earth. You know, everybody, looks up to America as being this great dominant country, man. But this is all prophecy. And scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as strayed by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? Because they're going to be in a state of disbelief and horror and despair, because they're going to be seeing the country that once made them rich being utterly destroyed, being burned. And they cast dust in their heads, because that time they're going to be in a great state of confusion, because that's what dust represents. It represents confusion. They shall cast dust on their heads and cried. Slaki, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. So in 1 hour is the Lord Yahweh through Son Yahweh Shai going to destroy America by way of thermonuclear fire, man. So now let's go back to Jeremiah 51, verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. You would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So it doesn't matter how much bells you Edomites pass, man. It doesn't matter how much money you pump out of thin air into this economy to so-called try to revive this corroded land. It doesn't matter. This country will not be healed, because it's been built upon nothing but the bloodshed of the sons and daughters of the nation of Israel. Okay? You would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. So and that's what we've been seeing. We've been seeing all these different nations, including America's allies, go back to their own country. They're breaking away from the different treaties and agreements with America. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So the Lord is going to ultimately destroy this land very soon, man. And all you Israelites out there that trust in America, Babylon the Great, is going to lead to your confusion and demise. Because Scripture says, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a womb with child, and they shall not escape. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Hashem Achak Kodash, to the elect. Lord's willing, I say shalom.